The earliest members were called Gnostics, who had this wild alternative theology to Christianity, which had all kinds of secret recondite formulas about a great mother goddess who was in charge of the God of the Old Testament, who proceeded from her, and a secret series of ritual initiations would get you to this higher gnosis or knowledge.
The Gnostic Christians derived their beliefs from such diverse sources as Greek philosophy, Egyptian and Babylonian mythology, and Zoroastrian theology imported from Persia.
Christianity is based upon Greek philosophy, Zoroastrianism theology, okay, from Persia, Babylonian theology, okay? And when you look at the dynamics of Christianity, you will be able to see Zoroaster, okay, the founder of Persian theology. You will be able to see Greek philosophy such as Hades, okay?
Yes.
God of the dead, right? Purgatory, okay?
Yes, like
you know, you know, to the Messiah, you know, as they have written in the scripture here, using the term hell, when actually he used the term Gehinnom,
yes,
right, which was a valley outside of Jerusalem where they burned criminals and refuse, things of that nature. But they do this in order to, again, to promote Gnostic theology, which is based upon paganism, right?
Paganism.
A heavenly rapture. Any theologian, okay, in any university will tell you that that was absent from the mind of all of the Hebrews.
That's right.
No Hebrew ever understood that there would be a heavenly rapture. That was introduced right through Gnosticism.
That's right. A flyaway doctrine. Yeah. Where and given the Messiah a pagan god of healing, Zeus, giving him his name, to cover. To match their doctrine, their Greco-Roman theology. The name had to fit.
That's right.
You know, Yeshua is a Hebrew name.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay.
Variations on Christian theology are often both imaginative.
Oh, let me back up. This in the Christian theology is imaginative, and we can testify to that.
Their variations on Christian theology are often both imaginative and ingenious. Simplifies the battle between sensuality and asceticism than Augustine. Born in Hippo, a city in what is now Algeria, Augustine is perhaps the most renowned theologian in the 20 centuries of Christian history.
Now we're gonna, now we looked at one of the early church reformers, Christian reformers, Constantine. We then bring Athanasius on the scene, which introduced the New Testament and the modifications that were made in the apostles' writings. And we're now going to look at another proponent of the Christian faith, Augustine, right? We have, aren't there some colleges, some universities called St. Augustine? Okay. Let's see who this gentleman is. Let's get his background.
Books, The Confession and the City of God, are powerful and personal stories of an individual's spiritual journey. The Confession, written in 400 AD, has been so powerful to readers over the centuries because Augustine confesses everything from sins of theology to his many, many sins of the flesh.
He lived what we would call a dissolute life. His mother was a Christian, his father was not. He agonized over which direction his life should take. There were times when he'd have strong religious impulses. There were times when he didn't. He had trouble controlling his sexuality.
Because my will was perverse, it changed to lust, and lust yielded to
these are your Christian fathers.
And habit, unresisted, became necessity. Thus I came to understand how the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh.
But Augustine is more than just a sexual libertine. He is also an educated intellectual.
Here we go.
He studies metaphysics, Greek philosophy, and the theories of Plato. He experiments with mysticism and a Gnostic religion from Persia.
Now look at this. Now this right here is one of your early church fathers, okay, who studied metaphysics.
Yes.
He studied Zoroastrianism, Greek philosophy, okay, and we're going to find out that he introduced all of these what the Most High would classify as abominations into the reforming of the Christian sect. Okay, and this was during the 4th century A.D. when you had the nullification of the 4th commandment, when you had the spread of Isus as being the God of the Bible, right, which today is called Jesus, right?
Relics like the cross.
Relics like the cross. And so they introduced all of these things. But what is the origin, the history, the foundation? And what we're simply doing, people, is this. Again, we are just merely wanting to inform you, all right? We are not trying to judge you in any way, shape, or form. What you do with the information is between you and your God, okay? We are whole in the fact that we know how to serve the Most High because we follow His dictates. And that is what completing your life cycle is about. It is about being able to, at some point in time, come into the knowledge of who your Creator is and how to serve Him, not according to traditions, interpretations, thoughts, and feelings, but finally serving Him according to His will. Okay, let's finish with this pagan bio.
The hard-living Augustine is baptized as a Christian side by side with his illegitimate son on Easter Day of the year 387.
20 years after they came up with the New Testament.
He becomes a priest, then a bishop, applying his immense intellect to craft powerful written arguments for the Christian faith.
It's fascinating to note that probably the most quoted theologian outside of St. Paul himself in all of Christendom was St. Augustine, particularly in the Western Church. All the medieval theologians and the Reformation theologians like Martin Luther will quote Augustine more than any other church father. It was his theology that captured the center stream of Western Christendom and has so to the present day yet. So.
Okay, now you know I got to pause on this.
Yes,
Elder, what did he just tell? What did he say?
He said one of the things he just said is that the progenitor of the Protestant movement, the Protestant movement, Martin Luther, quoted Augustine as much or more than he did Paul, which is doctrine. So he got his,
and the.
You can play it again. So he got his foundation. Martin Luther, the progenitor of the Protestant churches, from Augustine.
From Augustine's, all right. But watch this. He used his intellectual prowess, right? His knowledge of Zoroastrianism or Gnosticism in order to reform Christianity. And when you go back and you look at Gnostic theology, it is pagan theology at its best. Okay, and we are looking at one who was a staple in the Reformation of Christianity in the 4th century.
So it's okay to be agnostic.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah, it is right, exactly. I had a gentleman say to me, says, well, I'm not agnostic. I said, you would want to be.
That's right.
You would want to be.
Exactly.
Church father. It was his theology captured the center stream of Western Christendom and has so to the present day yet. So